Vincenzo'S Gold Crypto Investing, where you like, subscribe, and share for a one-of-a-kind, company-made computer software trading, probability-based trading alert, technical analysis, and company philosophy, as I'm your most trusted source for blockchain technology and cryptocurrency breaking news and coin updates here on YouTube and in the cryptocurrency sphere, as old Vincenzo has brought back truth and, most importantly, integrity back into the trading sphere up in here, as old Vincenzo's workday has come to a close. And tomorrow we are going to get our ever-loving asses handed to us by the firm back in Detroit for this mistake that happened. So bear with old Vincenzo. And today, as there wasn't many updates because of the catastrophic problem that we had at the old factory, right? Central bank, no place for stable coins in Russia. Economy, only digital ruble will do. And that's very important to see there coming out of Russia, because that's what I believe is going to happen to the United States and to the rest of the major countries. The Bank of Australia, the Bank of England, the Canadian Federal Reserve, whatever, the Bank of Canada, the Federal Reserve in the United States. They're going to go with their own digital currency, right? And it's not going to be backed by a stable coin. It's just going to be their physical dollar form getting replaced by a digital dollar form, right? That is what I honestly believe is going to happen there. And we'll see if that's exactly what happens over the next few years as old Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing. And I hope all of you will stay with us through it. And we're going to go through this together. But that's what I think is happening. Just like the Bitcoin price, it did come down into this area that we talked about yesterday, the old all-time high. Then it hit it and got rejected, hit it and got rejected again. And now it's consolidating on the top part of this white support zone. It's a major volume indicator from way back in the day. And that's what we went by on this pump down here. And as that we talked about earlier, old Vincenzo does fear that as soon as we lose this right here, we're coming straight down here. And I think this is your next underneath target. $1,737 and $17,378.65, I think, is your next underneath target. That seems to be where we're going. As you can see, the dollar is phenomenally strong. Look at this. See that? Look at this dollar. And that's what we've been talking about with the dollar getting stronger in the initial parts of this financial crisis. As you can see, that red vertical line is where the Fed started to tighten, right? You can see the dollar accelerated. And then when the dollar came up here initially and ran up, sold back off, we had a little target down here as a bullish consolidation down here. And it hit this purple ring and this underneath support, bounced off it beautifully. And then it's been in this consolidation. And now it's even threatening to break up and maybe make a run at 120.595. And that would be very, very bad for the banking system, the credit sector, and the overall equity markets and crypto in the United States and around the world, as that puts major downward pressure. And you can see the strong dollar is beating down oil and commodities, has a fear of a recession and now spreading through the market, even though we are, I believe, officially in a recession, even though they haven't acknowledged it yet, as we've had a first quarter negative print in the gross domestic product, GDP. And we've reportedly had a negative print in Q2, as we're now in Q3, which 2 quarters in a row would put us into a recession, right? And I believe we're already in there. And I believe this is going to get much, much worse as this financial crisis starts to take effect. If we look at XRP, see if there's any breaking news here. Bitcoin and Ethereum struggle. Bitcoin test, two-party, blah, blah, blah. No, there's no breaking news really in the Ethereum or in the XRP. But if we look at the XRP price, you can see what's going on here is we got rejected and rejected. And I'm fearing that we're coming down to our next underneath target, which would be, let's get that out of the way. That's our volume indicator, which would be up here at 19 cents. I believe this is our next target. And that target that we were talking about earlier, this is the symmetrical triangle that we were in for about 13 months. And you can see we had it diagnosed, sniffed out, and detected very, very early on. And you can see we had a 19-cent target, and we were making that call when the price was all up in here. and we would have the select few commenters that come and go. And you can see there's our technical target, would come and go every time they seen the price come up a little bit. He would start chirping. He would start chirping. He would start chirping. But you haven't heard him anymore since it broke down, right? I'm sure if XRP reverses and sitting up here somewhere, you might hear him chirp again. But he's been gone. And so have the rest of these people that were calling me an XRP hater, even though I was just shooting you straight like, shoot him. Shoot him, McGavin, right? But you can see, I think we're consolidating down. And I think the next leg is going to be down here and in the middle part of the last line of defense, a.k.a. get my shit together to the shit house, right? So that's what I'm watching for right now. Locally, I think you're coming down here to retest in the very immediate short time frame. You're going to come retest at 28 cents, which could end up liquidating you down all the way into here. And there was a few things in breaking news that I wanted to talk about. You can see we got some of these other coins that people like. But there was some news that I wanted to talk about. What was it? The Bitcoin miners. That's what I wanted to talk about. The Bitcoin miners. Where was this at? Let's take a look at this. Bitcoin miners profitability image by state. Come on. By state. There we go. This is where was this chart at? It shows the profitability by state. I don't know. I don't remember where I seen it. Let's see here. This is all right. This is a little harder to look at, but it's all right. You can see in that light. That's not what we're looking for. Of course, this would make it stupid. Let's see if we can search this another way. Bitcoin miners, which state are the most popular? I don't care about popularity. I care about profit. Fucking A. Good. Show me the locations. I had a picture somewhere. So the average in the United States is 21,089. We get that. I wanted to see it by state. I'm not going to be able to find it right now. But here we go. Here's some. So in China, a significant number of large blah, 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 seeking vast land, good infrastructure, low electricity prices. Many miners relocated to Texas and Wyoming. The abundant power in both states means one BTC costs around $16,500, presenting a profit of around $3,500, even if the Bitcoin price hovers around $20,000, right? So that's critical there. In two states, they needed about $16,500 to profit. You can see the cheapest electricity can be found in Louisiana, where it's $14,995. And the same thing with Arkansas, Wyoming, and Utah requires $16,500, right? But if you get into more of these expensive states, California, there we go, $35,000. Nevada, $16,000 cheap. Oregon and Washington, surprisingly cheap at $16,000 and $17,000. Texas, cheap. But then as you get into the Midwest, you got South Dakota, $20,000. Wisconsin and Minnesota, $21,000 and change. Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan, $24,000. New York, $29,000. New Jersey, $27,000. Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, all in the mid-30s. Besides Maine at $26,900, from $32,000 all the way up to $38,000, and then it gets cheaper as you move out of the communist states into more of a freedom state, right, into the Southeast and the Carolinas, North and South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, right, Louisiana bottoming out at $14,000, and communist Hawaii with their horrible policies on electric and stuff out there. Their draconian policies, you can see it's $54,000. And Alaska, you would assume, has cheap energy because they have a lot of oil up there. Well, the dirty little secret is here's how stupid our government is and how stupid these environmental hippies are. They won't let them build refineries up there to refine the oil. So they have to ship the oil on trains and freighter to the lower 48 to refine it into gas and then to ship it back to Alaska. Tell me what fucking sense that makes. But that's very important to know where the miners are, because I believe we're going to have miner capitulation before the year is out. And these miners are just going to start mass selling. They're just going to start mass selling their Bitcoin that they've been holding and accumulating, because as the price drops, they're mining new Bitcoin at a loss. And when they go to sell it to cover cost, they're going to have to sell some of their locked up Bitcoin that they've mined in the past to make up the difference on each Bitcoin they mine currently at a loss. Unless it's a short-term dip, then they'll just hold on and start selling as the price goes up. But if this is a long bear market where we spend the better part of the next year and a half below 20,000, you bet your bottom dollar, month over month, the costs are going to go up to mine these Bitcoin because power keeps getting more expensive. You're going to start to see them selling out their reserves. The Bitcoin miners and the Bitcoin farms will start selling their reserves out into the open market, driving the price down even farther and causing capitulation and compounding the problem for miners and holders and lenders and borrowers, right? Those are all very dangerous right now and at the risk of a collapse. And you can see right now we're holding support in algo at the 28 cents. The next underneath support on algo is the bottom part of what should be the orange support zone at 17 cents. And you can see we were in this falling channel for quite some time and then broke down. And then we came down to the downside. That's going to continue in algo. The same thing with XLM. Now we finally traded over to this blue ring after a long sideways, and really just a sideways and a slight down consolidation. And we didn't crash into the next ring like here or up higher. We just sort of traded down into the next ring. And you would expect there to be some buyers there, but it's such a long consolidation, it might more than likely slip through and come down to this 0.069 cents. And then maybe you could have some kind of relief rally up there. But XLM, I think, has a lot of downside left. But this is a coin that on the flip side, in another year from now, if you start accumulating down into these deep depressing areas where nobody wants to touch this, and you start getting back into this area down here, and you're accumulating anywhere below there, that would be a good accumulation zone area. And I think in the long term, this would be a coin that when you start reaching some of these all-time lows, if you trade all the way down where I believe you're going to trade into down here, this is all below this major line, the 0.071. Anywhere below that is great accumulation phase, right? Anywhere above that was a selling spot, and anybody that bought here was a short-term jabroni, right? But I think XLM is going to have a very lengthy amount of time. The same thing with XRP. You can see it's almost coming back. As soon as it dips below this major volume indicator right here where all the volume's been traded, where that white or that red little sneaky little line is that sneaks its dirty little neck out into there. Once you get below that and you get down towards these all-time lows, that's going to be a great accumulation phase all the way down. And then if you've done your research on this and you like this coin and you believe in it, I think this is going to have a long time, at least 3 to 6 months, if not a year, where you're down in this range, bouncing around, just bouncing all around in here, sub 10 cents, where you can stack and accumulate. I think you're going to get a lengthy accumulation phase down here, right? I'm going to start putting my accumulation zones. But once you get below this volume support and you're down into here, this is all accumulation, right? This whole area in XRP, 10, 15 cents and below, if you believe in this coin, start accumulating. Why wouldn't you be accumulating down there if you believe, honestly, it's going to bounce back and bounce back hard and end up one day making new all-time highs? This down here is a great accumulation zone. This up here, horrible accumulation zone. Horrible, horrible. This is not where you wanted to be accumulating. Absolutely not. Old Vincenzo was telling you up here, this price was coming down. This price was coming down. This price was coming down. And now the price has come down. And that's going to be a great accumulation phase if you've done your research and you're confident in this coin into the future as we work our way out of this bear market in the next year to 18 months. Like, subscribe, and share. Peace and love. Peace and love.